Drink your milk, we tell our children, and you'll grow up to be big and strong. But is that as true today as it was when we were growing up? Just ask Jane Akre and Steve Wilson. In 1996, this husband and wife reporting team at Tampa Bay, Florida's WTVT, now a Fox-owned television station, began investigating the use of a new artificial hormone.
RBGH stands for recombinant bovine growth hormone. It is a genetically engineered drug. It's made by the Monsanto chemical company, and it's injected into dairy cows every 2 weeks so that they give more milk.
But the problem is, despite what Monsanto says, it changes the milk that comes out of the cow. And those changes, according to many scientists around the world, increase your risk of breast, colon, prostate cancer.
How many Florida dairy cows are being injected with the synthetic hormone?
Jane Akre never got to answer that question on WTVT. After months of meticulous research, reporting, and fact-checking, Akre and Wilson's report was ready to roll. Then, 3 days before the broadcast was due to air, a fax arrived from the company that invented RBGH.
They wrote, some of the points clearly contain the elements of defamatory statements, which, if repeated, could lead to serious damage to Monsanto and dire consequences for Fox News.
Instead of standing behind its Emmy-winning team, the station yielded to Monsanto. The report was dropped from the schedule.
The general manager came up with this plan of buying us out. And he called us up to his office and sat us down, and it was a nice six-figure offer.
And we said, we didn't get into the news business to hush up the news. We got into business to cover the news, not cover it up.
Just before Christmas 1997, Fox fired them. So what was in that original four-part report Monsanto thought could be so damaging?
Posilac is the single most tested new product in history.
Consumption of this milk poses risks of breast and colon cancer.
In 1993, the Food and Drug Administration approved Monsanto's RBGH, the first genetically engineered veterinary drug in U.S. history. The next year, it hit the shelves with the upbeat brand name Posilac.
On the label that comes with Posilac, there are 21 side effects for the cow, and they include everything from lameness and reproductive disorders, an udder infection called mastitis, things of that nature that can kill the cow.
A number of dairy farmers told Akre that after injecting their cows with Posilac, they lost up to 70% of their herds. Many went out of business altogether. Monsanto is a multinational drug and chemical corporation with annual sales of $5.5 billion. They are not strangers to product safety concerns.
They created a lot of things that are probably living in our bodies forever. For example, PCBs, dioxin, NutraSweet.
And Agent Orange, I mean, it just goes on and on. I mean, if it wasn't so alarming, it would almost be funny to hear this company say, oh, you don't have to worry.
This is not something that knowledgeable people have concerns about.
The more Akre and Wilson learned about RBGH, the more they realized this was not just another story of a corporation elevating profit above public safety.
Because of the potential human health and animal health problems with RBGH, Canada, the European Union, and countries across the globe have banned this product, but the FDA here is not.
Akre and Wilson could not sit by while such an environmental health risk went unreported.
Our federal regulators aren't watching out for us. Our news people aren't watching out for us. Who is?
They have posted their story on the internet.
This story's been seen around the world. I mean, people dial into our website regularly. They ask us to come speak. I mean, this has become a much bigger issue and much more well-known than it would have been if it ran on the 6 o'clock news in little old Tampa, Florida.
As the story behind the story grew, Fox learned it had not heard the last from its former star reporters.
We were fired specifically, we alleged, because we threatened to go to the Federal Communications Commission and blow the whistle.
In August 2000, a jury determined that Fox had tried to pressure the team to broadcast a false, distorted, and slanted news story.
And that was the basis of our whistleblower lawsuit, and we won that whistleblower lawsuit.
They awarded Jane Akre $425,000. The final amount of the judgment is pending an aggressive appeal by Fox lawyers.
We tell our children to consume dairy products, but they can't be careful consumers. They depend on us to learn the facts for them. And in this case, as a consumer, you couldn't learn the facts. And that's Monsanto's MO, and they'd like to keep it that way.
You know, nothing ever changes. No issues are ever addressed until people learn the facts. And in this case, that's all we were trying to do. And that's all journalism used to be about.
For outstanding environmental achievement in North America, the 2001 Goldman Environmental Prize is awarded jointly to Steve Wilson and Jane Akre of Palm Harbor, Florida, United States of America.